Hello, my friends, my students. Welcome to BANI NETSHALA again. Today, I am going to talk about sonnet. Okay, so I have received a lot of mails. I have received a lot of messages from my students, from my friends. I have understood that I have to discuss with you sonnet broadly, and that's why I'm making this video only for you. Okay, basically who have actually texted me. Okay, so just I want to check my mobile phone to know that how many students actually you join in this lecture or in this classroom. Just wait for me. Am I audible? Yes or no? Please tell me, am I audible? So now I am actually going to discuss with you the most important aspects about sonnet. Okay, just I am waiting for you some moments and then I will start with you about sonnet. So some of my students who actually have messaged me to speak in Bengali. I will obviously take some classes in Bengali that will give you some ideas. Okay, who actually have come from West Bengal. So now I am talking about sonnet. Before going to sonnet যাওয়ার আগে আমরা previous day যে সমস্ত বিষয়গুলো নিয়ে we have already discussed, we have finished our discussions on that particular matter or particular subject topics that we have to recall. And you know that BANI NETSHALA, from the perspective of BANI NETSHALA, we actually create some kind of we actually try to give some ample space to the students to execute and express themselves, and this session is called as our recall session. Okay, so our recall session, on the behalf of BANI NETSHALA, I will give you or I will provide you ample space where you can execute yourself, where you can actually establish your own theory, own idea. Okay, just this is the one kind of recall session where it's, you can say it's just like a quiz. So first of my question, that as I'm actually talking about sonnet, so I have already discussed with you sonnet but not broadly. Today it's briefly. Okay, today I am going to talk about sonnet broadly. So my first question, whatever actually these questions I have I have discussed with you, this question is very simple questions. Please tell me the timeline or just write down. Please tell me timeline of Elizabethan period. Very very important, because as we are talking about sonnet or sonnet form, so you all know that as it is sonnet, so this is in Elizabethan period, and this is really very important to understand. Okay, so this is very important thing you should keep in your mind, and please tell me the timeline of Elizabethan period. I'm just waiting for you. I hope you all know the answer, because I have discussed with you each and everything chronologically. Like I can tell you that we were actually discussing about the whole period, like Old English period, Middle English period, age of Chaucer, age of revival, Elizabethan period, Elizabethan period. Then you have Jacobean period, Caroline period, Civil period, Commonwealth period, Restoration period, Neoclassical period, Augustan period, Age of Johnson, Pre-Romantic period, Romantic period. Then you have you all know that Victorian period, Modernism, Postmodernism, even colonialism, Post-colonialism. We have discussed each and everything. So please tell me the timeline or the duration of the Elizabethan period. Then I will ask you next questions, another question. Please tell me the answer. The timeline of Elizabethan period. I hope you all are actually aware of the answer, that this is 1558 to 1603 or 1603 or 1603. So now my question, the most important question, the establishment of, again I say establishment of, just I am writing on the board. Establishment of British East India Company. Tell me. Establishment of, just date. If you have no idea about it, just please yeah. Establishment of British East India Company. Please tell me the answer. I'm just waiting for you. British East India Company establishment. Tell me the answer. And you all know that the answer is very simple. Yes. Bidishwari. Give the answer, and the answer is really very important, and it's the right answer. The answer is 1600. Okay. Just you write down. Next, I am actually talking with you another question. This question also very, very important. Timeline of Jacobean period. Timeline of Jacobean period. Tell me. Tell me the answer. Timeline of Jacobean period. Tell me the answer. I am just waiting for you. Jacobean period. Timeline of the Jacobean period. Jacobean period. Very good. Very good. It is 1603 to 1625. Very good. 1603 to 1625. Very good. My next question. In which year Norman conquest happened or occurred? In which year Norman conquest happened? Again I say, in which year Norman conquest happened? In which year Norman conquest happened? Just write down this. This is very important question, and I was discussing with you again and again. Please tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer. Yes, very good. It is 1066. Very good. It is 1066. Very good. Very good. Shabash. My next question. Please tell me the answer of my next question. Who wrote Divine Comedy? Very important question. Who wrote Divine Comedy? Who wrote Divine Comedy? Again I say, just who wrote Divine Comedy? Divine Comedy. Please tell me the answer. I am just waiting for you. I am just looking for your message on my laptop. No answer till now. Divine Comedy. Divine Comedy. Yes, very good. It is Dante. Divine Comedy. Who wrote Divine Comedy? Dante. And you all know that it has three parts. Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. Okay? Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. Very important. I'm just looking for your comments. Okay, okay. So my next question is very important. In which year Globe Theatre was established or set up? In which year Globe Theatre? And you all know that Globe Theatre is closely associated with whom? Just write down the name with whom Globe Theatre is closely associated or related, and in which year. Please tell me. I'm just looking for your comments on the comment section on my laptop. Very good, very good. It is 1599 and William Shakespeare. Very good. Globe Theatre is associated with William Shakespeare. Very good. William Shakespeare, and it is established in 1599. Very good. Okay. It is established in 1599 and William Shakespeare. Very good. This is also called the Shakespearean theatre. Next question. Please tell me the answer of next question. Who wrote Go Catch and a Falling Star? Go Catch a Falling Star. Please tell me the answer. Who wrote? These are really very simple questions. And what kind of poem is this? Just write down. I'm just looking for your comment in the comment section on my laptop. Just write down. No answer till now. Yes, it is written by John Donne. How type of poem this? Write down please. Yes, this is metaphysical poetry. Very good. It is written by John Donne and it is published in John Donne and it is a metaphysical poetry. Write down this. Metaphysical poetry. So now my question, go catch a falling star. So here E, you can find out here E. Just end of the each word there you can find out E. So now my question, why John Donne used these E and who actually criticized him for these E? Tell me the answer. I'm just looking for your comments. Tell me the answer. Please tell me the answer. I'm just looking for your answer. No answer till now. Yes, the answer is Ben Jonson, but spelling is wrong spelling. Just write down. There is two Johnson in English literature. I have already discussed with you. This is very important. Silly things, stupid thing, but you should keep in your mind. One is Dr. Samuel Johnson, and Bidishari who has written that Ben Jonson, spelling you have used Johnsson, but it is not the correct spelling. It is the spelling of Dr. Samuel Johnson. But when I am talking about Ben, so Ben Jonson, yes, Ben Jonson criticized John Donne because of the using of extra E, and this is called archaic style, and it is derived from Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, very important thing you should in your mind. Canterbury Tales. From where actually John Donne used this. John Donne used this and derived from the Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Okay, this is really very important thing you should keep in your mind. Actually, Go Catch and a Falling Star, this poem he established. He tried to establish one particular thought, or you can say idea, that a man never can find a woman trust and fear, and that's why he said he established all impossible words or all impossible action can be acted, can be done. To establish one theory, he used that all impossible work can be possible. Okay, like he say, go and catching a falling star. That means a comet. It is possible for man to catch a comet. It is possible to man hear mermaid song. You all know, there are West Bengal who actually have come from West Bengal. You all know that it's a Motsyo Konna, just like Motsyo Konna. So Motsyo Konnar shobdo ba tar awaz ba tar kotha bolar je posture, you do not know, and we all do not know. Amra jani na. But it is John Donne who said that it is possible to understand মারমেড সং, মারমেডের গানকে আমরা এটা পসিবল টু শোনা যেতে পারে, ঠিক আছে। আর কি, ইট ইজ পসিবল টু সি দ্য ইনভিজিবল থিংস, যেগুলো অদৃশ্য জিনিস রয়েছে সেগুলোকেও দেখা যেতে পারে। ইট ইজ পসিবল টু রাইড অন আ হর্স 10,000 days and 10,000 nights constantly, 10,000 বছর ধরে কনস্ট্যান্টলি ঘোড়ার পিঠে চড়া সম্ভব। ইট ইজ পসিবল টু টেক আ চাইল্ড ফ্রম দ্য mandrake roots, and you all know that how mandrake roots just like a roots, and you can find out that these roots just like a baby or child, okay. So that's why he said that it is possible to take out the child from the mandrake roots, but it is impossible to find out, quote unquote, he actually has written that nowhere in this earth a woman trust and fear. Very important line, you should keep in your mind, okay. Next we actually start with sonnet. So now my question, what is sonnet? Just write down this sonnet. To understand what is sonnet, when we start to go anything, any form, any idea in English literature, not only in English literature, any idea, any thought, okay. So first we ask a question, what is this? So what is this? That means what is sonnet? So the answer is very simple. To understand what is sonnet, you have to understand the root of the word, because you all know that it is actually invented, and you can say that popularized in Elizabethan English literature. In Elizabethan English literature. Why I am talking this? Because before in Elizabethan period, it started actually 13th century. Started in 13th century. Where? In Italy. But in England, it is in 15th, or you can say end of the 15th and beginning of the 16th century, okay. So there is the poem which is called sonnet, and first we should keep in your mind, we have to question that what is sonnet. When we ask the question what is sonnet, we have to understand that the root of the word sonnet, because you all know that in Elizabethan period most of the writers had played with thoughts. That's why it is Walter Scott, just write down, it is Walter Scott who actually told that while Elizabethans had played with words, just write down this, while Elizabethan had played with words. So Elizabethan had played with words, that means Elizabethan writers coined new terms. You all know that Shakespeare himself coined new terms, new words, and you can find out in Otto J. Sparsen great vowel shift. You all know that previous year question, you should keep in your mind, great vowel shift. Who wrote this? Otto J. Sparsen. You should keep in your mind this. This is really very important question. You can give triple marks or triple star. Okay, next. So it has started, or you can say it has been started during 13th century. Okay, but it is popularized in English in 15th, or you can say end of the 15th or beginning of the outset of the 16th century. So now my question is very simple question, that in English it is in 15th or 16th century, but I have told you that it has actually invented in 13th century. So where? In Italy. So the root is Italy, okay. The word Sonnet has been derived from the Italian word sonetto. Okay. So what is the meaning of the sonetto? The meaning of the sonetto is small song or little poem. You can say small song or little poem. So what is sonnet? When you try to understand what is sonnet, so first you have to understand about the root. So the root country, Italy. Root language, Italian language. Which word? Italian word sonetto. Okay? The word sonnet has come from the Italian word sonetto. From there, sonnet in English. This is in English and this is in Italian. So now my question, simple question. So who first invented this form? The first person who invented this called Giacomo di Latini. He is a Sicilian person. Sicilian person, or you can say Sicilian. And this Sicilian belongs to the reign of pious king Frederick II. Very important thing. So during the reign of pious king Frederick II, you can find out a man whose name is Giacomo Latini, who actually invented this sonetto form, and this sonetto form is popularized in Italy by Francesco Petrarch. Just write down this, Francesco Petrarch, and that's why the sonnet is called as Petrarchan sonnet. So it is Francesco Petrarch who for the first time popularized the sonetto form, which is already invented by Giacomo Latini in, or you can say during the reign of pious king Frederick II. Very simple. So the important king Frederick II is a pious king. Okay. Sicilian person Giacomo Latini invented this form, but it is popularized by whom? Francesco Petrarch. And that's why, as his name, it is called as Petrarchan sonnet, or you can say it is Italian sonnet. Very simple. So first question's answer is what? What is sonnet? Sonnet is a little song. Little song or poem. Or small poem you can say. Small poem. Which is written in 40 lines, iambic pentameter. Now what is iambic? Very important question. You have to give the answer. You have to again create the question. Because creating question is just like a curiosity which is already within you. And that curiosity actually provokes you to ask something. Like Plato's Republic theory. Just one thing I want to discuss with you. What is Plato's Republic theory? You all know that Plato's allegory of the cave. Where you can find out this theory? In Republic. Where? Republic. He said there is a candle. Okay? There is man. There is a wall. As the candle is behind the man, so the man is watching his shadow on the shadow on the wall, and some person some powerful person who knows each and everything, who has a power, you can say Marxism. Okay, when I will discuss with you Marxism, Marxist theory, Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, okay, positivism, anti-positivism, Max Weber, etc. When I will discuss with you, I will give you broadly this thing. Just to try to understand what is Plato's Republic, allegory of the cave theory. So there is a candle, as candle is the behind of man. So man is watching his shadow on the wall, and he thinks that there is a sun. This is the real sun. As he saw his shadow on that portion, there is a light. So education, what gives education? Education gives him, provides him power to know. As we are talking about enlightenment period, what is the main aspects of enlightenment period? Enlightenment period, the main aspect is reason, rationality. Man starts to questions. You can find out in Victorian period also. Victorian period, one thing I will discuss with you, just you tell me Victorian period. Okay. So you all know that Victorian period, the literature of Victorian period is called as complete literature. Just I want to comment section, just want to know that is there any comment? No, there is no comment, there is no query, there is no question. So I am continuing my lecture. So in Victorian period, most of the person says that the Victorian literature is complete literature or coherent literature. So this is complete literature, perfect literature, coherent literature. In this Victorian period, who is the main pillar of the society? Main pillar of the society is Queen Victoria, who called herself as a representative of God. And she thought that the literature of Victorian literature is complete literature or coherent literature. But it is Charles Darwin, 1850s. Okay, he for the first time has shaken the idea of human beings and said that human history is nothing, it is the history of evolution. So if it is the history of evolution, so just you think about, there is no God, it is human beings. And he talks about evolution theory. Man starts to think about question comes in their mind. So is there no God? That's why Friedrich Nietzsche, that's why asked the question, the God is dead, nihilism, existentialism. That's why we are talking about existentialism. When I am talking with you absurd literature. So what is absurd? What is absurdism? Nothing, meaninglessness. And you all know that after the First World War, and then happened Second World War, Russian revolutions, Easter Rising of 1916. People thinks about that. The price of human body, the price of human beings has meaninglessness. There is no value. The value of human life is meaninglessness. Okay, so that's why absurd literature comes. Absurdism comes. Why? Meaninglessness. One thing you should keep in your mind, which is meaningless for you, that is meaningless for me. That I can say that I have a meaning. Okay, বাংলায় সহজ বাংলায় যদি আমরা বলে থাকি তাহলে দেখো ভিক্টোরিয়ান পিরিয়ডের যে সাহিত্যটা রয়েছে সেই সাহিত্যটা নিয়ন্ত্রণ করত কে? কুইন ভিক্টোরিয়া। এটা আমরা মূলত সবাই জানি। প্রতিটা রাজার রাজত্বকালে, লাইক চন্দ্রগুপ্ত মৌর্য, লাইক সমুদ্রগুপ্ত, লাইক সুলতান, লাইক বাদশাহ, মুঘল সম্রাট, দেখো মন দিয়ে বুঝলে দেখতে পাবে যে প্রত্যেকটা রাজার রাজদরবারে যে সমস্ত কবিরা ছিলেন, যে সমস্ত লেখকরা ছিলেন, যারা সাহিত্য চর্চা করতেন, প্রত্যেকটা লেখক রাজার বিরুদ্ধে গিয়ে কেউ কিছু লেখেন, বরং রাজার পৃষ্ঠপোষকতা স্বীকার করে রাজাকে খুশি করার জন্য, রাজার মনের মতন করে সেই লেখাগুলো গড়ে উঠেছে। ঠিক ভিক্টোরিয়ান লিটারেচার কি যদি একটু লক্ষ্য করি, দেখা যাবে ভিক্টোরিয়ান লিটারেচার, দে হ্যাভ টোল্ড দ্যাট ভিক্টোরিয়ান লিটারেচার ইজ কমপ্লিট লিটারেচার, ইট ইজ কোহেরেন্ট লিটারেচার, ইট ইজ পারফেক্ট লিটারেচার। প্লিজ বিলিভ মি, দিস ইজ চার্লস ডারউইন। সায়েন্টিফিক্যালি why আমি কেন আমরা বলে থাকি যে লিটারেচার ইজ সাচ আ টাইপ অফ সাবজেক্ট which is interrelated with all subjects. We are reading what? We are teaching what? We are learning what? We are learning English literature. So literature, সাহিত্য. So সাহিত্য মানে আমরা কি মোটামুটি বুঝি? গল্প। সে হতে পারে রোমান্টিক স্টোরি, হতে পারে রোমান্টিক পোয়েম, এগুলোই তো আমরা বুঝি, বা শেক্সপিয়ারের নাটক। না, এগুলোর বাইরে গিয়েও কিন্তু লিটারেচার সেই জায়গাটাতে গিয়েছে, যেই জন্য কিন্তু তৈরি হচ্ছে ডিজিটাল লিটারেচার। ক্লাইমেট ফিকশন, সো ক্লাইমেট ফিকশন which is called as sci-fi. I will give you a session where I can use the new terms, the new kind of literature like digital literature, blue humanities, like I also talk, I will talk with you the most important things: climate fiction, science fiction, robot, cyborg manifest, cyborg literature. So those are important. Electronic literature. So just you think about, so Victorian period Queen Victoria তাহলে কি প্রমোট করছেন, যে তার লিটারেচারটা হচ্ছে কমপ্লিট লিটারেচার। বাট দেখো, বিজ্ঞান প্রথম চার্লস ডারউইন তিনি তার ইভলিউশন থিওরিতে এসে বললেন যে না, মানুষের ইতিহাস হচ্ছে একটা বিবর্তনের ইতিহাস। মানুষ বিবর্তনের মধ্য দিয়ে, তোমরা সবাই জানো যারা ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলের ইতিহাস বইয়ে বা যে কোনো জায়গার ইতিহাস বই, যে কোনো রাজ্যের ইতিহাস বই একটু যদি আমরা লক্ষ্য করি যে কিভাবে ইভলিউশনটা হয়েছে, এবং যদি আমরা সেই প্রিমিটিভ যে সোসাইটি ছিল সেই সোসাইটির দিকে একটু লক্ষ্য করি, দেন ইউ ক্যান ফাইন্ড আউট দ্যাট যে একটা মানুষ হয়তো প্রথমে বানর ছিল, সেখান থেকে তার কিভাবে ইভলিউশন হয়ে আজকে সে মানুষ হয়েছে, কিভাবে তার চেঞ্জেস গুলো এসছে, সেই জায়গাটাকে যদি একটু আমরা ভাবতে থাকি তাহলে আমাদের কাছে বিষয়টা কমপ্লিট হয়ে যাবে চার্লস ডারউইনের ইভলিউশন থিওরি। যখনই চার্লস ডারউইন প্রথমে এই কথাটা মানুষকে বললো, কারণ এতদিন অবধি ভিক্টোরিয়ান পিরিয়ডের মানুষেরা এটাই বিশ্বাস করে এসেছেন যে কুইন ভিক্টোরিয়া ইজ দ্য রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ অফ গড, তাহলে যে কিনা ভগবানের একজন রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ, তাহলে এখন তো প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে ইজ দেয়ার গড অর নট? ওয়াই? কারণ চার্লস ডারউইন ইনি বোম ফাটিয়ে দিয়েছেন, এই যে সুন্দর একটা সমাজের মাঝখানে ইনি একটা বোম ছুড়ে দিয়েছেন, এবং ওই বোমটা কিছু কিছু মানুষের মনের মধ্যে কোয়েশ্চেন আনছে। সিমিলার থিং রিপাবলিকে দেখো, একটা মোমবাতি জ্বলছে, মোমবাতির সামনে একটা মানুষকে দাঁড় করিয়ে দিয়ে তাকে ঠিক তার সামনের ওয়ালের দিকে তার ছায়াটাকে দেখিয়ে বলা হচ্ছে দিস ইজ দ্য রিয়াল সান। বাট এডুকেশন কি করছে? স্বামীজির মতে আমরা কি বলে থাকি? স্বামীজি said that education is the manifestation of human beings. তাহলে মানুষের অন্তর্নিহিত সত্তার পূর্ণ বিকাশকে বা পরিপূর্ণ বিকাশকে আমরা কি বলি? এডুকেশন বলি, শিক্ষা বলি। তাহলে তাই যদি শিক্ষা হয়, তাহলে এই শিক্ষাতে এ কিন্তু কি শিখছে? সমাজের একটা মানুষ যারা কিনা ক্যানন তৈরি করে। যখন আমি মার্কসিজম বা মার্কসিস্ট থিওরি নিয়ে তোমাদের সঙ্গে আলোচনা করব, then I will discuss with you that how Marx have told that our society is divided into two parts, one is called haves and other is called have nots. Like আমি একটা জিনিস তোমাদের বোঝাই, মনে করে নাও স্কুলের সিলেবাসে কারা সিলেবাস তৈরি করে? কিছু মানুষের হাতে সেই পাওয়ারটা দেয়া হয়েছে, তারা সিলেবাস তৈরি করে তাদের মতো করে, সমসাময়িক বিষয়কে তারা তাদের উপর ভিত্তি করে সে তৈরি করা হয়। কিন্তু সত্যিই কি সিলেবাসে এমন কিছু কবিতা রয়েছে, এমন কিছু গল্প রয়েছে, এমন কিছু ইতিহাস রয়েছে যেগুলো সত্যিই প্রয়োজন নেই, বরং সেইগুলোর প্রয়োজন ছিল যে জিনিসগুলো আজও চাপা পড়ে রয়েছে। যদি আমরা সাউথ ইন্ডিয়া আর নর্থ ইন্ডিয়ার হিস্ট্রির কথা দেখি, তাহলে দেখা যাবে যে সমস্ত কথা উত্তর ভারতের ইতিহাস কিন্তু বেশি। আমি কোনো কন্ট্রোভার্সিয়াল থট বলছি না, বেসিক্যালি যে জিনিসটা ঘটে সেটা আমি তোমাদের সাথে আলোচনা করার চেষ্টা করছি। আমি আবারও বলছি, আমি কোনো কন্ট্রোভার্সিয়াল কোনো অ্যাসপেক্টের মধ্যে যাচ্ছি না। আমি যে বিষয়গুলো মোটামুটি ঘটে, একজন শিক্ষক হিসাবে, একজন বন্ধু হিসাবে, একজন ফিলোসফার হিসাবে, ইউ অল নো দ্যাট প্রফেসর, ইউ ক্যান সে প্রফেসর অর টিচার, দে আর অ্যাকচুয়ালি শিক্ষক। So what actually responsibility they have? They have the responsibility that they make students aware of the fact. Okay, not only the fact that means that এটা তোমাকে মুখস্থ করতে হবে, no, the reality, the thought, what actually was happening, occurring around us. এইবার এইটাকে দিয়ে যখন পড়ানো হয় বা এই সমাজের পারিপার্শ্বিক যে জায়গাতে যা যা ঘটছে সেগুলোকে বলতে গেলে সবসময় কিন্তু ঠিক থাকা যায় না, সেখানে কন্ট্রোভার্সিয়াল থট এসে যায়। আমি যদি এখন বলি যে ভগবান, কথার কথা আমি বলছি, যে মনে করো বাংলাদেশের যে ওয়ারটা হয়েছে, দেখো কথা বাংলাদেশে, সেখানে এখন ধরো কেউ বাংলাদেশ থেকে এই ভিডিওটা দেখছে, সে যদি ভাবে যে আমাদের এই যে সামান্য একটা ঘটনাকে নিয়ে এইরকম ভাবে ব্রডলি কেন ডিসকাস করা হচ্ছে, বিষয়টা ওরকম না। ইন্ডিয়াতে বলি, মনে করো ইন্ডিয়ার সাথে পাকিস্তানের যুদ্ধ চলছে। আচ্ছা, এই যে কিওটিক একটা সিচুয়েশন হচ্ছে যেখানে উভয় দেশেরই মানুষ মারা যাচ্ছে, আমি বারবার একই কথা বলার চেষ্টা করছি। সে যে মনে করে নাও আমি আমার পাশের বাড়ির সাথে দ্বন্দ্ব হচ্ছে, তাতে দেখা গেল পাশের বাড়ির মানুষের সাথে এই বাড়ির মানুষের দ্বন্দ্ব হওয়ার ফলে দেখা গেল কিছু মানুষ অসুস্থ হয়ে পড়েছে। এখন প্রশ্ন হচ্ছে ক্ষতিটা তো উভয়েরই হচ্ছে। ভালো করে ব্যাপারটাকে বোঝাচ্ছিস, ক্ষতিটা তো উভয়েরই হচ্ছে, কিন্তু ক্ষতিটা কিন্তু আলোচনায় কি সবাই আছে? আলোচনায় কিন্তু সবাই নেই। আলোচনায় বাড়ির কর্তারা রয়েছে, অন্যরা তো নেই। তাহলে বাড়ির কর্তারা ডিসিশন নিচ্ছে, অন্যরা কেউ কিছু জানে না, তারা অন্যের সাথে যুদ্ধ করতেছে, হয়তো তারা জানেই না যে এক্সাক্ট রিজন কি। দ্যাটস ওয়াই ওয়ার পোয়েটস কাম এসছে। ওয়ার পোয়েটসরা কেন এসছে? সেই জন্য কেউ কেউ ওয়ারের ফিউটিলিটিটাকে দেখিয়েছেন, আবার কেউ কেউ ওয়ারের ব্রেভিটিটাকে দেখিয়েছেন, সেটাকে বিউটিফাই করেছে, তাই না? যেমন আমরা রুপার্ট ব্রুককে চিনি, ডব্লিউ.বি. ইয়েটস তিনি বলেছিলেন যে রুপার্ট ব্রুক তিনি ঠিক কাজী নজরুল ইসলামের মতো বিদ্রোহী কবি, এবং এমন ভাবে তিনি কবিতা লিখতেন যে ইয়াং ব্লাড ইজ বয়লিং, দে স্টার্টেড টু গো টু ওয়ারফিল্ড, they started to engage themselves into warfare, to war, or to do against any country, but they have no reason, they do not know the reason কেন যুদ্ধ হচ্ছে তারা জানে না। মাথা যুদ্ধ করতে বলেছে, নেতৃত্ব যুদ্ধ করতে বলেছে, তাই যুদ্ধ করছে, এক্সাক্ট রিজন দে হ্যাভ। ওকে, সো এই জায়গাটা থেকে যদি আমরা একটু বেরিয়ে আসি, যে আমি জাস্ট কিন্তু আবারও বলছি, একজন শিক্ষক হিসাবে বোঝানোর জন্য যেটুকু দরকার, যে পরিসরটার দরকার, আমি শুধু সেইটুকুর মধ্য দিয়ে জাস্ট ট্রাই টু মেক ইউ আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড হোয়াট ইজ দিস। ওকে, সো এই যে ক্যাননটা বানানো হয়েছে বা এই যে ক্যাননটা তৈরি করা হয়েছে, এটাও কিন্তু কিছু পাওয়ারফুল মানুষের হাতে, যাদের হাতে পাওয়ার বা ক্ষমতা রয়েছে, হু দে হ্যাভ পাওয়ার, দে অ্যাকচুয়ালি ক্রিয়েটেড this barrier. But when a student or when a person become educated, okay, he knows what is good and what is bad, and when he understands that something is wrong within this barrier, he tried to break down this barrier and go out of this barrier, this confidential zone. ওকে, এই যে একটা আবদ্ধ করে রাখা হচ্ছে একটা দণ্ডির মধ্যে বা একটা ঘেরা জালের মধ্যে, একটা ব্রেডিকেটের মধ্যে, সেটাকে ভেঙে কিন্তু তারা বাইরে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করে। সো দিস ইজ দ্য পাওয়ার অফ এডুকেশন। বাট স্টিল উই নো দ্যাট এডুকেশন only gives you or provides you the power to write something. Ideologically you can change something, but you cannot change the whole society. Okay, যাই হোক, so this is the most important thing. Next we should keep in your mind that it is Charles Darwin. So যখন চার্লস ডারউইন বলল যে the theory of evolution, so people start to ask question. That's why Friedrich Nietzsche's nihilism, existentialism comes. Okay, and you all know this or that. Now, so যেখানে আমরা ছিলাম, যাই হোক, এরপর একটা করে থিওরি আসবে। Sigmund Freud asked the question, psychoanalytical theory you can say, and Sigmund Freud said that Freud theory, very important theory. So Freud said that our mind is divided into 3 parts. So how it is possible to a person make a complete literature, as his mind is not complete. His mind is divided into, segregated into different parts: ego, superego, conscious, unconscious, subconscious. You all know that. So how it is possible to write a complete literature? Okay, so next, so আমরা যেখানে ছিলাম, তো এই যে আমরা সনেটো, সো সনেট তাহলে কি হলো? এটা এসছে ইটালিয়ান ওয়ার্ড সনেটো থেকে। প্রথম এটি ইনভেন্ট করেছিল কে? গাইকামাদো লেতিনি। তিনি একজন সিসিলিয়ান ম্যান। ফ্রেডরিক পায়াস কিং ফ্রেডরিক সেকেন্ডের রাজত্বকালে তিনি ছিলেন, তিনি আবিষ্কার করেন। It is popularized by Francesco Petrarch, and that's why it is called as Petrarchan sonnet or Petrarchan sonnet or Italian sonnet. Just like our English sonnet is actually invented by Earl of Surrey. Okay, Earl of Surrey, but it is popularized by whom? Popularized by William Shakespeare. That's why it is called as Shakespearean sonnet. Okay, just you should keep in your mind. I will discuss with you these or that. Okay, so how type of sonnets are there? There are some sonnets which is called Italian, two type of sonnet. Italian sonnet, normally you try to understand Italian sonnet, another is English sonnet. Okay, so what is sonnet? Sonnet means, sonnet has derived the word Italian word sonetto, as it has derived the Italian word, so the Italian person has firstly invented this, and it is Gaetano the Latin in the reign of Pius Frederick II. And what is Italian sonnet? What is English sonnet? So it is Earl of Surrey and Sir Thomas Watt. Earl of Surrey and Sir Thomas Watt. His another name is Henry Howard. You should keep in your mind Henry Howard. Okay. So Thomas Watt is also very important. They actually visited in Italy. They got attracted by the Italian sonnet, and then they actually discovered the form in the ground of England, and the English people started to experiment with the last part. Why I am talking about last part? Because we have to know about the structure of Italian sonnet, or you can say old sonnet, you can say historical sonnet, you can say traditional sonnet, you can say Petrarchan sonnet. So this sonnet has been divided into two parts. Okay, this is Italian sonnet. It has two parts. One is called octave, another is called sestet. So these are important thing. You can octave, that means 8 line, first 8 line, and sestet 6 lines. So it is very clear to you, to all of you, that octave consists 8 lines, sestet consists 6 lines. Octave arise a question or proportion, and it gives the answer or resolutions of that proportion. You should keep in your mind. And there is a most important thing, there is a volta. Volta means, what is the meaning of the volta? That means change. So the motive, mode, tone, everything is being changed when volta comes. Where we can find out volta? Just ending of the 8 lines or beginning of the 6 lines. That means ending of the 8 lines and beginning of the first lines in sestet. That means you should keep in your mind that octave always arises a question or proportions, and sestet gives the answer of that problem or resolutions of that proportion. So sestet always gives the answer, and the beginning of the sestet or the ending of the octave you can find out sudden change. That means motive change, tone change, and it is called as volta. Now what is the rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme is very important when we are actually discussing about sonnet. Sonnet নিয়ে যখন আমরা আলোচনা করব সবথেকে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ বিষয় হলো তার রাইম স্কিম। সো ইতালিয়ান যে সনেট রয়েছে তার রাইম স্কিম কি রয়েছে? জাস্ট ইউ শুড কিপ ইন ইওর মাইন্ড A B B A A B B A. This is octave and sestet C D C D C D C D C C D C, or you can find out C D E C D E. So the most important thing, this sestet you can find out in John Milton. That's why it is called as Miltonic sonnet. As I have told you that most of the English sonnet writers started to experiment with the sestet part. That's why 3 types of rhyme scheme you can find out in the sestet part when I am talking about Italian. One when it is being discussed by the sonnet, there you can find out 3 different rhyme scheme in the sestet part. Okay, so now the most important thing is, as I am talking about Italian sonnet, then you know the 2 types of sonnet. Okay, just normally 2 types of sonnet. There is another sonnet, Spanish sonnet, a French sonnet. Okay, Popish language. So different language written in different language. Sonnet is written in different language. So different types of sonnets. So now forget this and try to understand this. Let's start this. So this is the very important thing is, what is English sonnet? One thing you should keep in your mind, it is Sir Thomas Watt. Again I say, it is Sir Thomas Watt. Just 1 minute, I will check your comments. Is there any comment? No. Okay, try to understand. Is there any comment? No comments. Okay, so it is Sir Thomas Watt and Earl of Surrey. You should keep in your mind. Try to understand. these two guys, they actually traveled in Italy, got attracted by the sonnet form, introduced the sonnet form in the ground of England in 15th century, and the most of the English writers during this time started to experiment with this thought. Now question is very simple. It is Sir Thomas Watt who directly followed or imitated, you can say imitated. Okay, this imitated is most appropriate when I will discuss with you neoclassical or Augustan period. Okay, the writer of neoclassical period or Augustan period actually imitated or imitated what? Imitated the classical rules, the classical styles, the epic styles. That's why you can find out Alexander Pope, the mock heroic epic, Rape of the Lock, 1712, 1714, 1717, three publications, and different publications. Each publications is very important. First two cantos, 1712, 1714, three cantos, 2 plus 3, so total 5 cantos, and 1717 you have the introduction of Clarissa, social commentary, you can find out this. So Alexander Pope, Rape of the Lock is very important for your upcoming any SET exam or NET exam. So very important, you should keep in your mind, neoclassical period. Just imitated, the word imitated is very important. Imitate or imitation. Okay, so emulation. Why? Because you can emulate something, you can imitate something. Whom? Augustan period writers, classical writers, Virgil, Ovid, Horace, okay, Aeneid, Homer, okay, and that's why the very important thing, that's why you can find out mock epic, mock heroic epic, that you can find out very trivial things is being discussed with just broadly, just granularly, just like the epic poem. And that's why Rape of the Lock is called as heroic epic. And you know that there is the two families, okay, Arabella farmers and the Baron families, and those families are real families. They are actually engaged into this or that kind of stuff, and which is introduced or which is actually written in this way, in epic, heroic, mock heroic epic style used by Alexander Pope, and you all know that. And it is Alexander Pope who actually tried to give you what is actually mock heroic epic, use of aerials, okay, norms, these are that kind of stuff. So these are very important, and three publication of Rape of the Lock is very important. So now the important thing is Thomas Watt and Earl of Surrey. So they actually firstly they translated Petrarchan sonnet. Okay, so most important thing is they published this all form in Tortle's Miscellany. In Tortle's Miscellany. So now my question, who wrote actually Tortle's Miscellany, or who actually established this? This is actually Tortle's Miscellany.